Hello, welcome along to this week's show. Now, the weather may have done its best to derail racing this weekend, but Navan and Lingfield keep the ITV show on the road. And to look ahead to the action on the all-weather from the latter track, I am joined by Ben Linfoot and Dave Odd in the studio. Now, this is not the stellar action that we were hoping for, obviously, with Ascot and Haydock falling by the wayside, but there are some competitive looking handicaps at Lingfield, aren't there, Scoop?
Yeah, there are, Matt. Yeah, it's not John Bon v El Fabiolo, unfortunately, but we do have live racing on a cold January Saturday afternoon, so at least it's something. And yeah, there's a few decent puzzles to try and unravel over the next 10 minutes.
At least there's something. Is that the tagline for the weekend? Is that what we're clinging to the wreckage?
Yeah, GBR, they can have that, can't they?
Yeah, you can do GBR, you can have that. There you go.
Dave, you must have some golden rules. All-weather betting at Lingfield, sharp track, isn't it? What do you look for on this?
Your middle name's Leafy, isn't it?
It is Leafy. There don't be no Leafs though either, will there? Because of the time of the year. You look at the pace map. First thing, if there's anything resembling an even pace, something drawn low, something's going to make the running, you'll be in the 3. That's the starting point. Interesting one, because we're going to dive straight in with some of our best bets, strongest fancies on the card. Scoop, this the sprint handicap 235. Is there going to be a strong pace on this, and who do you fancy?
I think there is. I think there might be. It's a key angle in this race for me. I thought this was actually the best betting race to have a go at, the 5 furlong sprint. It piqued my interest the most, and I think you've got Bedford Flyer in there, and Bergerac, and One Night Stand, and Clearpoint, who all could vie for the lead and perhaps set this race up for something coming off the pace. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, because I quite like Alligator Alley for David O'Mara.
Needs things to fall right, doesn't he?
He does. He's a bit of a hold-up merchant, a strong traveller, but it could just fall right for him on Saturday afternoon. He's been running well behind an all-weather monster in Clarendon House. Have you seen him in the Midland Park colours? He's rated
thriving, isn't he?
Thriving, rated 112 now, and he's been running okay in those races. Those races haven't quite panned out for him, but I think this one might do. He's drawn in 8, which is absolutely fine because he's going to be held up anyway, and I'm hoping he comes down the outside with a late run. I think he's handicapped to go well because he's rated 94, he's won off 91, 92, 96 and 100, so I think that tells you he's got a chance from a handicapping perspective if it all falls right for him. Fingers crossed it does.
Yeah, I thought one of those ridden a bit more prominently might be able to hang on to a piece here. The value bet for me would be One Night Stand. I just thought he's actually running from £4 out of the weights, but he's still on a fair mark. He runs effectively off a mark of 84 this weekend, but he's run pretty well in the dash at Epsom off 90 odds. So he's an in-form horse and he's being overlooked in the market. Dave, you're looking elsewhere for a best bet. Are you the low-grade handicap, the lucky lass?
Yes, I've gone for the. I mean, we're clinging to. We've got something motto. But this is quite an interesting horse. It's Grain of Hope. It's the bottom weight in the last ex-Johnson horse. So started off with Charlie Johnson, finishing second, beating a short head at Thirsk. First run at 1 mile 6. Been winning over hurdles since for her new team. And I think the interesting thing, this is the first run at 2 miles on the flat. And I think going to improve for it. Improve for the step up to 1 mile 6. Improve for the step up to 2 miles. Gets way all round. I think she's interesting. She's in good nick for Emma Lavelle. I think staying race like this, it's not much of a contest. She's the angle into this. She gets way all round, potentially improving for the step up in trim. If she does, she'll be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I quite like the look of that one under Hector Crouch, I think, rides.
Darwell
Lion for me, that's going to be my bet of the weekend, I think. This is a runner for Ruth Carr, definitely underestimated the market, hoping to get around 20 to 1 Darwell Lion. Now, Ruth Carr last year on this very card, middle leg of the Winter Millions at Lingfield, had one runner, one winner at 16 to 1. I'm hoping maybe Lightning might strike twice with Darwell Lion, who seems to really like it at Lingfield. Now, onto one of the feature races of the day. Now, it carries a very fancy title, but it is the Bet MGM Winter Oaks Fillies Handicap. That's at 310. Now, Dave, you're looking away from the top of the market because we've got 2 Simon and Ed Crisford horses here, haven't we, dominating the betting. They don't necessarily dominate completely the ratings, and you've got one at a bit of a price. Yeah, behind the scenes, rated 98 there, £3 off the top spot for James Tate and Rossa Ryan. Her form figures in the UK, artificial surface, a 1-1-2. That 2 was her last run.
at Kempton, where she finished second to a very improving. She had to wait for a gap and came home strongly. Nice and clear of the third. She's off the same market, where I think that's generous. Running 2 listed races at Deauville since, ran creditably. I think behind the scenes is a potential improver in a fascinating race. And I think she'll outrun her odds.
Yeah, I think she's probably going to need a strong gallop. Same applies to the favourite, Oh So Grand for Crisford. Now, they've got a second string, haven't they, Scoop? Is the favourite going to get a strong gallop, and could we maybe see a Ryan Moore special here on the alternative on the stablemate?
Well, I'm hoping so, yeah. I thought it might pan out like that because he's on Twirling, who's drawn in 1 and looks the obvious pace angle to me in this race. She is stepping up in trip for the first time to 10 furlongs, having raced over a mile previously, and she's massively unexposed, only had the 4 starts. And improved with each start, including last time where she was ridden by Harry Burns and things didn't quite pan out for her. But I think she should reverse the form with Daisy in this race, stepping up to 10. And
you sure she's going to see out the trip?
Oh yeah, she's by Churchill, a damn one over 10 furlongs. I think it's a massive positive, stepping up in trip for me with Twirling. One of the reasons I'll be backing her on Saturday, but also the potential run of the race from that.
I think Miss Bluebell might be a problem for that. The Tregonning filly won at Wolverhampton last week. She's best going forward. They've changed tactics with her, and she's shown improvement for it. And I'd imagine they'll want to either sit on the pace or sit alongside her. So I don't think it'll be uncontested. Yeah. But I think if they set the right fraction, then the two of them will be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, a lot depends on if Ryan Moore is allowed an uncontested lead. It's his first rides in the UK since end of October. Great to have him back. Always great to see Ryan Moore.
He'll be on ITV with Ollie tomorrow, I bet.
It should be a cracker. Yeah. Stay tuned for that one.
We've got so much to look forward to. Let's briefly recap the selections. The best bet on Saturday at Lingfield, Dave, for you?
In the lucky last, fit from hurdling, Grain of Hope.
And in the sprint handicap, Scoop?
Yeah, 2:35 Alligator Alley.
Super stuff. Darwell Lion for me at 2 o'clock. But good luck with your own fancies this weekend. Thanks for watching. Until next week, good luck and goodbye.